Hello, how are you? My name is Paula McGurdy and I am an Irish visual artist. And welcome. Thank you for joining me today. Welcome to my studio. This is where I reside for lots of the time. Yes, my studio is small but perfectly formed. And today in the studio, what I'm going to be doing is my creative coffee break series. So I'm working through a sketchbook, and when I get to the end, that's it. The series is done. But for the moment, I'm on day 5. So this is episode 5. So I'm going through it each Friday, and I'm working through a page. And the whole idea behind this is I normally use a lot of colour in my work. And if you know my work, you know exactly that. So this is really to push myself a little bit more, to do something a little bit different, and sketchbooks are brilliant for just that. I feel like you need to switch things up a little bit. That's just the time to use a sketchbook. I know they're not for everybody. I do dip in and out of them a bit, but when I come back to them, I always see some kind of shift in my own practice and in my own work. So this is the sketchbook, and as you can see, it's fast and free flowing. The other thing I love to do is just limit it to like 10-15 minutes working in a sketchbook, so it doesn't feel like that I'm taking up a huge amount of time and becoming just so focused. It's not about making a finished piece of work. This is just about really a visual diary of what's going on with yourself and putting it down on paper, or where you want your work to go, or trying new things. So that's the beauty of a sketchbook. I love paper. I love all of the stationery. If you watch season 2, I might have even sung a little bit about that, or episode 2 might have even sung a little bit about that. So I use all of the old notebooks, scraps of paper, and again in my own work I use a lot of what's that now? I use a lot of my own drawings. So I work in collage, so I do a lot of contemporary collage onto painting as well. So I do my own paintings or my own drawings and cut them out and add them to my works. Let's see, so here we go. So yes, scraps of paper and everything. Oh, this is, look, so this is an old notebook that I use. Sometimes I just write in random things. This is a quote that I absolutely love. There are people less qualified than you doing the things that you want to do, simply because they decided to believe in themselves, period. Isn't that amazing? I love it. I just think that gives us so much hope in terms of trying the things that we really love to do and pushing ourselves into things that we really want to be doing. Okay, so I'm going to use, I have a little piece of paper there, and I have an old poetry book from when I was little. Okay, I quite like that. Pop. You tell me. Little poems. I love the illustrations in these too as well. Let's see, who's the illustration by? I don't know if it was Michael Rosen, Roger McGough. Not too sure. Oh, here we go. Oh no, they're both illustrations by Sarah Mida. Yeah, Sarah Mida. I'm going to look her up actually. That's interesting, isn't it? Look at those two dudes, hey? Okay, first day at school. Oh, I know who gave this. An auntie and uncle gave this to me when I was little. I have very few of these things lying around, but some of them I have held on to for nostalgic reasons. Okay, so I have a few things of water. I have various different size paintbrushes and a cup with old dirty water because sometimes that can be really helpful. It kind of just makes you again, not get precious about it. Today I'm going to use some tape, and I'm going to tape it off just because I want to add a little border around. So we're going to see how this works with the crease in the page as well. So, but this is fantastic tape. There's so many different kinds of masking tapes and washi tapes that you can use for it, but the idea is that to get something that isn't going to rip the page on you. But again, if it's a sketchbook, it doesn't really matter. So it's not about the finished piece, but this one is a great one. This is frog tape, and this is for delicate surfaces. So there's lots of different strengths, I guess is what you would say, different strengths of masking tape. The standard masking tape for something like this, we just rip the page, so I tend not to use that. But this is ideal. And the reason why I sometimes like to use this is because it gives a nice kind of finished, crisp, clean edge. And I know it's not about the finished piece today, but I just want to see how that looks alongside the other ones that I've been doing within the sketchbook already, and see how it turns out, really. Okay, so today, what shall we do? Okay, today I'm starting with some white paint. You know what? I'm gonna go just crazy, and I'm not even gonna mix any paints beforehand. Put it down there. I'm feeling free and carefree and wild today. So I'm actually just going to, oh, look at that. I'm just gonna mix that in like that. Ah, oh, like seriously, that just brings so much joy to my little head. That is just, I love it. It feels gorgeous when you do it. I love this. Okay, that is lovely. Gonna just take that off like that. Lovely, lovely, lovely. I love some of the little marks. I don't know if you can pick that up quite yet there, but I love some of the little marks that makes. Now again, the idea is not to get precious about this, and it is free flowing and fast, because what I like to do is try and ensure that these don't go on longer than like a couple of minutes, or not a couple of minutes, what am I talking about, Janie Mac? That would be very fast, wouldn't it? More than like 10-15 minutes. I want to show that I can make something within that without feeling bogged down, I guess, by working in a sketchbook. This is just kind of glooping up at the top, and this is Golden High Flow acrylics, and you've seen me before on the other episodes working through this as well. Ooh, yeah, I love that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold the paintbrush very loosely, and one of the ways to do that is either to use your non-dominant hand or to use it at the very top, and kind of just see what marks come out of it. It's always like a little bit of a surprise. And I wiggle the paintbrush a bit. Yeah, it's so good. You can see how sketchbooks can really help you kind of get into a flow of something as well. Just going to connect that up there. When I start these, I don't really know what I'm going to do. It's all, you know, you just don't really know. I just go with it and see. And that's one of the things about, and I'm going to use my non-dominant hand. I am left-handed, so I'll use my right. One of the things that kids do so beautifully is they're very carefree for the most part in their creativity and in their curiosity as well. Kids are so curious about things, and it's beautiful. But as adults, as we go through the system, we're kind of told not really to question things, just to go by the rules. And the thing about art is there actually is no rules. Unless you're just a traditionalist, then that's another thing, or you're wanting to create something very specific. But when you're doing something like this and trying to stretch beyond maybe the norms of what you would normally do, then there really are no rules. And I love that. I love that mark there. Love them. Yeah, sometimes that's just, you make one or two marks and it just feels so right. I'm going to use a pencil, a big old fat chunky pencil that belongs to one of the kids. I'm going to actually go into the paint here for a surprise element. See what happens. And I'm doing a lot of twisting and turning. going back, and I think actually what I'll do is I'm going to build this up a little bit, and by that I mean keep on going with it. It's like adding another layer in some way. Yeah, I don't know about this side. I kind of just love it the way it is, but I also feel like it needs a little bit of je ne sais quoi, as they say in La Belle France. Okay, I will cut this one out. These are like little mounds that I use a lot in my own work, and I painted those a long time ago with something. I think some ink or something like that. That's quite a lot of glue. It's okay. I mean, look, just get messy. That's okay. There you go. Okay, so now it's really about where I feel like that piece will fit and sit well. That it's sticking to my fingers too much. I'm inclined to go down here. Okay, we're resting there. It has dictated, it has told me where it's going to go. There we go. Stick that down. Oh, move it over a little bit. And now it's just a matter of me kind of figuring out and asking myself, okay, what next? What should I do next? Looking at the page, seeing what I feel works, seeing if I should paint over something, seeing if I should hide something. Okay, so I will pick that one up. That's not supposed to be there. Maybe I want to hide this bit actually. Yeah, I'm sorry, but you're gonna just be transported into something else. Okay. Not sure what's going on there, but let's just go with it. Hey, I'm just gonna put another little one here. Yep, nice. And again, as I said, it's about informing. So when you look back on a sketchbook, it's really always interesting to see if you've been doing it in a kind of progressional way. Like if you're doing it regularly in the same sketchbook, you can always see how things have changed, where things have come from and where they're leading to. And I always find that really fascinating. They tell, I mean, I'm all about stories, so they tell the stories of where that happened and where it began, and how it changed. Yeah, not sure about that one. It's all a bit of a mess there, but it's just the way sometimes. And then you decide to do something different. Move along and see if you can change it just a little bit. I mean, really, it's about, as I said, it's about curiosity and play and not judging yourself. So when you come at a sketchbook, it's always helpful not to be like, oh, that's terrible, I don't like that. And it doesn't matter, because one of the beauties about a sketchbook is you just flip over the next page and you can do something else. And that is an amazing thing. So you don't have to get bogged down and weighed down about the having done it perfectly. There's no perfect in this. There's actually no such thing. But that's what this is. Okay, I'm gonna land that there. And actually today I feel like last week, I loved last week's. And I'll be honest and say I am finding this a little bit jarring today, and I'm not quite too sure why. I can't really put my finger on it. And part of me goes, just stop now. Stop it, Paula. Don't go any further. Just leave it. And then another part goes, oh no, just like, look, let's just push on through and see what happens. because sometimes that's where the surprise comes, and sometimes that's where just a big, huge, messy mistake happens, and then you just own it. And you go, yeah, that wasn't my day. It didn't work so much that time, and that's okay. I'm going to use a little bit of kitchen towel just to kind of blot that up a bit. And sometimes kitchen paper can have a nice effect on the paint as well. Add a whole other detail. Do you know what, that bit there is just like one big sloppy mess. So I'm going to do this. Remember, oops, free and wild. Maybe not so wild, but you know, those days are gone. I'm going to move this over here because I just feel like it. Oh, that's the only explanation I can give. There is no other explanation. Sometimes that's just the way. When people ask exactly what everything means in your work, sometimes there's no meaning to it. It's just, well, I just felt like it. It felt like a good fit for me that day. Let's see if that will stick back down. You know what? It is what it is, as they say. Okay, this area here is still getting on my nerves, as they say. So I'm going to take a little bit of paper from the notebook and we're going to do a little bit of a cover-up job. And then what I'll do is just put a little bit. I can always add something on top of that there. I don't want too much glue. There we go. Come on, speak to me. Okay, I'm going to use my pencil. So this is a pencil that I just love. Sometimes it helps just bring things together a bit more. Sometimes not. That's a bit, I don't want to do it on the wet paint. There's a lot going on this side, not so much going on over there, but maybe that's a good thing, you know. But I might just do a few little marks down here. Look, I'll be honest and say this probably isn't going to end up being one of my favorite pages in the sketchbook, but that's not what this is about. So it's good that you guys see this as well. I'm actually going to leave that there because I am. Yeah, I'm going to leave that there. Okay. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. See, sometimes you just can't help yourself. It's like, oh, I just go back for a little bit more. Shouldn't have done it. Oh, there we go. Maybe that's better. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do this. I'm going to take off the tape and see what it looks like, because that might shed a little light on how it looks. It's very, very satisfying taking the tape off. Hope it doesn't rip. But again, if it does, it's just the sketchbook. So there we go. So you can tear the page a little bit. And if that happens, normally what I do is I come at it from the other side then. So I kind of pull the other side, and generally it stops that tear going any further, unless another tear appears, in which case, well, you just got to figure out another plan. Let's see if this works this time. Yep, there we go. So I kind of just stopped it there. Great. Okay, I like the border on it. Just tearing a little bit there. And this is tearing this a little bit because obviously the paper is not as heavy as what I would normally use. Like a sketchbook is normally like a little bit lighter. You can get heavy sketchbooks like paper, but they're normally in the next price category, and then I get a little bit like, I don't want to ruin it. That's tearing a little bit there. I do like this part here. That's quite lovely. So like it might be that the overall doesn't really sing to me at all, and that's fine. But it could be that like just small little elements, like little bursts of things, I think, oh yeah, I'm going to try that again with, you know, just using those big sweeps of the paint. I'm going to try that more. And this here really, that is really, really lovely. I love that, those kind of marks, and then it comes down, and you probably can't see that so well, but down onto the white part there as well. So it might be that I'm not very happy with this section here, but there's some areas that I really like the way that the paint has formed. This bit down here and the way they cut off there with the tape. So sometimes you just got to take what you can from a piece and just be grateful that it all didn't look completely rotten. But you can see how the progression, like you can see kind of how it is. Now last week, so that was the week before last week, I was kind of getting smaller. This hasn't been intentional to get smaller, so we'll see what next week brings. But if you like this, please subscribe if you want to be informed of when I'm going to be doing more of these. So I generally put them out every Friday. But if you want to be guaranteed not to miss one, the way to do that is to subscribe to my channel. Also, you can like it as well, and that means that more people get to see it as well. And I would love that. That would be amazing. If you want to see more of my own work and my own day-to-day in the studio, what I do, and you can always follow me, and that's on my Instagram, which I'm very active on Instagram actually, and that's Paula McGurdy Art. Or you can also see more of my own work on paulamcgurdy.com. So they're the two other ways. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to leave you today with a little something. I did these wonder cards, and they came out of a place of really me needing a little bit of positive affirmation in my own life and with my own kids as well. And I'm going to draw you a card today. I pray to God that this is a really good card for you today and it makes sense. Oh my goodness, look at that! I am a wonder. Yes, I used to do prints with I am a wonder on it as well. So yes, and I tell that to my kids as well, that you are a wonder, that they are. And when you think about things, and when you think about getting back to the basics of just the simplicity of things and being grateful for those, I am a wonder. So you are a wonder, and remember that today. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for keeping me company. Thank you for watching. And yeah, show me the works that you've done. Show me your paintings, your sketchbooks that you're working on. I would love to see that. You can always DM me at Paula McGurdy Art on my Instagram, or down below as well if you want to leave a comment. That is always lovely to see as well. But whatever you're up to, have a lovely day, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.